Dreams and Your Subconscious Mind. The cost of this book includes links to 7 full-length innovative subliminal audios which you can access directly from within the book. There is one title specifically to enhance nighttime dreaming, a second to protect you from unwanted subliminal programming, and 5 titles to aid success which are for moving you through the fear that stops you, for handling procrastination, for programming your subconscious mind to tell you the actual steps to achieve your goals, a title for stopping self-sabotage and a title for stopping the war within. Rather than working with their subconscious mind, many people are fighting against it, and against their own true self and higher self. These are subconscious programming audios you listen to in the background on low volume without headphones while you do something else. You can listen on headphones if you like, but it's not necessary. We wanted to include something more you could use immediately to work with your dreams and subconscious mind. The audios come along with the other wonderful ideas and inspiration and motivation and links and extraordinary references that are included herein to help you get more out of your dream world, dream life, and the relationship you can have better with your amazingly powerful subconscious mind. We want you to have all this so that you can have a better, richer, happier, and more fulfilling life of making your own conscious dreams by developing the art of a better relationship with the dreams you have at night and with the power of all of your various kinds of dreams and your subconscious mind. Disclaimer. Please be advised that all of the products and services on and relating to the Elprehzleinn websites are based on ideas and experiences of spirituality, including mind, soul, higher consciousness, destiny, divine being, love itself, the virtually unheard of field of true sacred spiritual sexuality, amazing grace, and various other spiritual values that cannot be guaranteed to work in any way. Everything on our sites is for entertainment purposes only, and what may have worked for us or somebody else who used our products and services and/or interacted with us will definitely not work the same for you. We are all different and unique. You use our products and services at your own risk. You assume all liability and responsibility for what happens in your life by interacting with us and our products and services with harm to none, and purely benevolent outcomes for all concerned. You agree to allow your highest consciousness and love itself to intervene favorably in your life in all matters regarding your interaction with Elprehzleinn, so let it be. Furthermore, we believe it is better to have no beliefs. Except for that belief, JoreJj Elprehzleinn. Introduction. Inside this book are links to 7 different, full-length subliminal audios. I wanted to add tremendous value to this book by including those audios, so enjoy them. I think and feel that it's important that this book provides its readers with more than just words and ideas, also experience of what the value and power of connecting with your subconscious mind is like. This to encourage further exploration and healthy relationship within yourself. To that end, I also provide a link to a full-length, 25-minute, life transformation audio file and some other resources that you can use to program and redirect your subconscious mind most favorably. The life transformation audio file is presented with sounds and music that are an original composition by myself, JoreJj Elprehzleinn, in order to facilitate the acceptance into your body system at the subconscious level. It's a unique, innovative, and unprecedented audio recording, and the words are spoken aloud so that you can actually hear them. In fact, the script is also provided for you to consciously know what is being programmed. I want you to have that because you got this book. As a way of saying, let's get started really working well with the subconscious mind and the dreams. All you need to do to access that file is to click here. The other 7 audios you get by following links in the book. Enjoy that part of this. It's my pleasure to share those with you. I have often told myself, calmed myself with the idea, you see people's subconscious mind as if it was an open book. Did you ever hear about micro-expressions? They were featured in the TV series, Lie to Me, based on the real-world work of Paul Ekman. The idea in the show is that there is this man and his team, the Lightman Group, and he has this incredible skill of reading people's true emotions no matter what they say. and the true emotions are written on the person's face in micro-expressions that never lie. I was born with a natural aptitude for what I call forensic psychology. I was trained by highly skilled people and unseen beings in how to handle people, and the things they do and how they are. I graduated with honors in psychology. I was privileged to spend years hanging out with some of the world's top pickup artists and financial market traders, both groups of whom are excellent, in fact magical, at understanding how the body works, how the mind works, in extremely practical and relevant ways that confound the majority of people endlessly. I spent years trading real money accounts by myself and with other people, in which I was sometimes yelled at by some of those people because they felt I was doing it for personal growth and not caring enough about the financial bottom line. I find that in casinos and when it comes to money and money dealings, it is often then that you see the real person. Then that nobody can lie and not be seen in that lie. The worst kind of lies are when the conscious mind identifies and makes a self-image based on what I call the constricting emotions and the patterns and programs that developed around them in order to survive childhood and adolescence. I call it reincarnation sickness, and we all seem to suffer from it to some degree or another, and it can be healed. What happens with image and identity based on constricting emotions is that the person is twisting the reality and omnipresence of love itself by lying to themselves about what the world is, how things work, how people are, and so on, and thus obscuring and sabotaging their own true self, and their ability to function at their best. Not only do we all seem to have an ugly side, until we transform it, but we all seem to hide it and protect it. We get something for doing it. The feeling of safety and survival often. And we often hold on to our ugly side for dear life because it was usually created for dear life, for survival. And set in the stone of beliefs, the very firm rock of beliefs and the complexity of set programs and patterns. The intention of this book is to share just a few ideas that come from decades of experience in this incarnation, in this body of mine, in this current lifetime of being this way and having this way that I am become highly trained. For example, the leader of the 2-year communications master course that I took told me that she didn't know what I was going to be doing in the future of my life, but I was going to be working with people and I might as well learn how to do it right. The ideas I want to share here in this small book are primarily that 1. Your subconscious mind is very real, and it's very important to develop a healthy relationship with it. 2. Your subconscious mind is so powerful compared to who you probably think you are that if you don't develop a healthy relationship with it, then it will or already has taken you over for what it thinks is your own good, which may not be what you think is best. Thus the war within, as spoken about by Krishna to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. And no thank you, I am not religious. This war within affects our outer relationships, and well as prevents our relationship with our own self, as well as twists and distorts all our conscious efforts for a better life. And Arjuna, standing between the two armies, saw fathers and grandfathers, teachers, uncles and brothers, sons and grandsons, in-laws and friends. Seeing his kinsmen established in opposition, Arjuna was overcome by sorrow. Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, verses 26-28. 3. Your dreams are not meant to be interpreted, and how you can directly relate to them as what they are, rather than as what you think they are. This is a very precise and tricky matter which I feel I have one thing that is very valuable to offer, and I hope to put that across in a way that you can greatly benefit from. There are many books that talk about your subconscious mind and how it works. There are only 2 books that I personally feel are important in that regard. Regarding the explanation of what it is and how it works, there is The Secret of Perfect Living, by Charles Mangan. And regarding how to actually develop a rapport with your subconscious mind in a way that is easy enough and works, there is our own book, The Practically Magical Use of Bliss. And here in this book is also my recommendations and gifts to you of various things, including a subliminal audio from my subliminal audio library regarding dreams. And in fact access to the entire subliminal audio library for free. Rapport with your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind exists, however I am almost certain that most every person I have ever met, even though they have heard of it, is not on great terms with it, or doesn't begin to understand it. Meaning you can get on better terms with it and have amazing improvements in all areas of your life, that happen so powerfully. Even with all my experience and training regarding subconscious mind, I feel absolutely like a beginner. The power of the subconscious mind is immense. So this book can be a first place to develop the rapport, even though I haven't yet explained why you would want to do that. Hint, because it's so powerful. Because it can stop you from getting what you want in life, and it can help you get what you want in a way that nothing can stop you. Once you just somehow in some way admit and allow that your subconscious mind is perfectly capable of taking you over and is already doing so more than likely whether you know it or not. The second thing is to realize your power in the relationship is your ability to make choices. Now when do you actually make choices, and then that is actually what happens? How often do you make choices and things don't go as planned, or your choices turn into unfulfilled desires, or who knows what happens? And when who knows what happens, who steps in to make sure you keep surviving in this lifetime? Who watches out for your safety and protection at all times, on a primal level? Your subconscious mind. And you know it because you sure fail to do so often enough that they have to step in and take care of things. They have to constantly monitor you, to watch over you and make sure that everything, absolutely everything, is okay, because you just don't have the ability to do what they do. You do have the ability to make choices. And that is something we need to discuss now. Choices are a close companion of decisions, however choices are your intentions. You can intend anything you want to. Your beliefs, which your subconscious mind is holding, may conflict with your choices. So the art of choice making is intertwined with the experience of working consciously with your beliefs. And all this stuff definitely fits into your relationships with other people. Oh yes, indeed. And so what you learn and experience as you develop rapport with your own subconscious mind is that you notice how other people are and are not relating with their subconscious mind, and you notice their own subconscious mind working in their life. And you might not be able to do anything about that, if their mind is set, for example, on certain beliefs. However, you can make choices. And when you allow and realize that choices are the bridge between you and your subconscious mind, rather than something to fight about with yourself or anybody or anything else, you can then have an aha moment that lasts a lifetime. When you realize that your choices are your dreams because they are your intentions, then you can also realize that as you make your choices into your dreams, then the dream realm becomes a shared realm. And that is empowering to all of you. Together is the master mantra according to James G. Mangan. It's the way to go regarding all that you are. Normally people think that the subconscious mind is the realm of the dreams, the maker and keeper of the dreams of all kinds. When you take the responsibility and do the work of making conscious dreams and accepting that your subconscious mind also makes dreams and is very powerful, then you can share the dream realm, and the dream realm is your connection to each other, your bridge, your rapport. And a beautiful new life can open up for you like that. Sharing the dream realm is the idea that when you consciously dream, your dreams are very different than the dreams your subconscious mind dreams when you sleep. When you share the dream realm, your powers and their powers meet harmoniously and you work together. And magic happens for you in your life and your loved ones like that. Intimacy with your subconscious mind. Rapport is about intimacy. Intimacy is about directly knowing what it is, even if it doesn't fit into your current frame of understanding and perceiving. Your subconscious mind is constantly going to show you things that don't make sense, that you don't understand, that you can't interpret. And if you try to make sense, understand, and interpret, you are deflecting the intimacy with a kind of arrogance that is similar to the way that so many people form ideas and beliefs and then, even while saying they are open-minded, deflect anything that doesn't fit with their own way of thinking and being. This is absolutely normal in a system that is built into the body that in fact your own subconscious mind is in charge of. It's normal to design a way of thinking or to have that be something you already have designed for you by society, parents, school, advertising, etc. And with that you form an identity and an image, often multiple identities and images, and you go about living your life believing that your image or identities are you. And you need to have identity and image. It's just a question of, is that really your true being? Are you freely creating and choosing your best image and identities and knowing they are not you, rather expressions of you? In any case, the idea of this section is not to cover the formation of identities and images we project of who we are into the world and into our relationships, nor the demands we place on others, including through intolerance of others, to conform to how we think of ourselves. I do want to mention at this time that work with images and identities in relation to creating the life you want is something I specialize in, and often I spend years working with leaders and teachers and other people that help people and work with large amounts of other people to help them change and transform and develop their success by working with their images and identities in incredible ways. These concepts are beautifully addressed and in a way that leaves you free to change your identities and images into what you choose them to be. As you move through your life, you can be more like an actor playing the roles that best suit the occasion and the task at hand. You can be a lover when it's time to be a lover. You can be a worker when it's time to work. You can be a cook when it's time to prepare food, and a shopper when it's time to go shopping. You can be excellent at the roles you choose to play. All of that is covered in detail in our book, The Practically Magical Use of Lists. In terms of working personally with me, that is something I only do with certain people, and at this time the only program I have for that is the optional full package. Let's get back to what intimacy is with your subconscious mind, rather than the discussion of the images and identities that you might have assumed you are and that might be blocking you from relating intimately with your subconscious mind and your dreams, which are one of the ways your subconscious mind talks with you. So if you look at a dream as what it is rather than what you interpret it should be, then you are being more intimate. And in that intimacy things are way more fun, and the rapport is better. How do you look at a dream the way it is? Simple. Whatever you recall of that dream is what it is. You start with that. If you dream that you are walking down a spiral staircase into a forest, then you don't try to interpret that. You just feel it, and know that it what was being said by your subconscious mind. Notice the details. Remember what you can. Let it be what it is, and you can be really surprised at how that opens up for you. Then your subconscious can really reach you. They will tell you what that staircase means to you. Or the downward spiral, or the forest. Let the meaning not be your interpretation, rather direct intimate connection. This one counsel, if you can follow it, will help you tremendously. Don't interpret your dreams. Just relate to them. And let the subconscious mind talk to you about the dreams. As you write them down, as you go over them, they are still with you, and they are the ones that have the levels and layers of meaning and symbolism that is far richer than any interpretation. Let it be a live relationship. You'll be impressed. The work of writing down and drawing out your dreams. One of the most common knowledge you might have heard about is writing down your dreams. How do you do that? Do you already do that? Do you know that writing down both kinds of dreams is very valuable? Writing down the intentions you have, the choices you are making for the direction of your life that are often called dreams, and writing down the so-called nighttime or sleeping dreams. When it comes to the art of forming conscious dreams for your life in the future, and how to do that, and what you can expect from doing that, and why that is considered the one success that brings all other success, my Life Transformation System is a trilogy and my individual quick start book, Advanced Win List, for doing so are the very best I have to offer. Here in this book we are addressing the power of your sleeping dreams that are produced primarily by your subconscious mind for different purposes. Since there is clearly a link between the conscious ambitions that you can express formally using techniques I share in my other books, or using other techniques you know about or have devised for yourself, it is important to discuss the relationship between sleeping dreams and waking dreams. How the writing down of your dreams can impact the consciousness bridge between these two types of dreams is what we now speak about. Dreams are language. Your own language. I think and feel you are much better off learning your own dream language from your subconscious mind directly and how to work with it than consulting dream interpretation books. Whatever your dreams mean to you is what they mean, and they always have multiple meanings. That is part of what your subconscious mind is excellent at doing, processing huge amounts of information more than your conscious mind can. And remember that most people experience their conscious mind as who they are. This is partly due to the vastness of including the subconscious in your self-definition. For many people it may seem and maybe is safer to have a more narrow concept of self than the wider concept of self that embraces the massive size and power of the subconscious mind. By writing down and drawing out your dreams, you literally take into your own hands that vast power and you manage it in a way you can handle. Maybe your pen or pencil doesn't literally shake with that power, and yet it's there in your hand. You can befriend it. Your own power of choice must be exercised to do so. And thus your rapport with your inner power of your subconscious self and the doors it can open for you can grow. How to do it? First of all, consider to let go of the idea that you have to control your life. Your life is being controlled in most ways by your subconscious mind right now, for sure. Many things are happening in your body right now, for example, that you are not consciously controlling. Secondly, since you don't control everything, don't think that you know everything either or need to know. Be willing to be open to the unknown that is your subconscious mind. It is you, a greater you. Not greater than you, just more of you. The greater you includes that which is your subconscious mind. And it is designed to protect your safety and security, and it does that in the ways that it knows how to, including protecting your life even from you. The more you gain its trust, the more you and your greater self, including subconscious aspects, can develop a healthy and powerful relationship. When you have a dream, sometimes write it down or get some imagery from the web that makes you think of your dream. Draw some scribbles, or make a picture to the best of your ability, not of the whole entire dream, but of anything at all that connects you to it. Anything you do to communicate better with your dreams is going to be monitored by your subconscious mind, and it will change what it gives you. Knowing what you are doing, it will help you work with it, and thus you build your rapport. Where to write things down. People, I think and feel, they focus on remembering their dreams or saying they don't remember their dreams. They focus on interpreting their dreams. I say better to focus on where and how are you going to write them down. Making any connection at all to them is incredibly important and powerful. It's not so important, I feel, to be able to go back and look over your dreams in a journal or something like that. While somebody like Carl Jung is very impressive and inspiring in the way that he drew out and wrote down his dreams, I feel it's just important to go through the act of expressing the dreams and writing in pictures to make the connection in the present moment. You may never read over your dream journals ever again. This is why you can write them down anywhere. You can just pencil them out on the newspaper you are reading, or on a napkin. Just scribble out some fragment. Or grab a piece of paper, or email yourself, or write a note on your computer. Filing and storing your dream journals or dream notes, I honestly think it's better to focus on doing that with your dreams that we call ambitions or goals and dreams. Let your conscious dreams be where you focus your abilities to store and file. Why do I feel it's better not to spend too much time on filing or storing your sleeping dreams and subconscious mind connections is because it's like you taking over the job of a part of yourself that can do it so much better than you can. Your job is not to keep the files and records of your life. That is something your subconscious mind is excellent at doing. You are much better off learning how to access those records with a fun, joyful, playful and ready to do it any time with ease kind of attitude and facility. To keep written records of your conscious goals and dreams. Don't get ridiculous about your sleeping dreams. Be more casual, open, and playful with those in terms of storing them, filing them. It's more about just writing them out, bringing them into consciousness than about keeping or holding on to them. Let your subconscious do that for you. I know that in the American movies I love to watch, a classic theme is the serial killer who obsessively pastes newspaper clippings on the walls of some creepy apartment or home where they live, with maps and all kinds of drawings and so on, literally covering every square inch of the wall space. It's often depicted as an extremely dark and sinister thing to truly get into it when it comes to writing out your subconscious. So don't overdo it. And maybe think twice about keeping massive files and records of what you record. Live your life in partnership with your subconscious mind. Don't try to obsessively become it. That might be dangerous. Dream Enhancing Subliminal Audio. Click here for the Dream Enhancing Subliminal Audio. Click here for 5 other subliminal audios that I mention I would give you in the beginning of this book. One of the reasons I want you to have all of these subliminal audios that you get in this book is so that you can try out that way of working with your subconscious mind. It is really fun. On my website at this link, which is this http://elprehzleinn.com/practicaltools/subliminalaudio.htm, in case you need to copy it and type it in manually, you will find the description of the audios as well as the link to download them. The links are near the top of the page, the descriptions lower down. On the far right-hand column on that page near the top is also an audio with me interviewing the man that made the subliminal audios which are given to you. You can listen to that interview to clarify what these are and get a feeling for them. I have used them for years because what happens is that whatever it is that the title is about seems to magically come about in the right way for me after I listen to the audio over and over enough times. How many times is enough times is individual. I usually listen to many of them at once. There is an extensive FAQ on that page link I gave you where you get them. Now I can tell you that maybe after 20-30 days of listening once or twice a day to the audios you would have the result possibly show up in that time frame. It's incredible that it works, and how it works is basically a mystery of the way the subconscious mind listens and responds to what you feed it. In any case, these are high quality and I hope you enjoy them and experimenting with them. These are spiritual entertainment products for your pleasure and hopefully your life enhancement in great ways. Protecting yourself subconsciously. The first thing is use the subliminal audio 001 that you can get by clicking here. That is the first thing I recommend you do to protect yourself from unwanted subliminal programming. Secondly, I think and feel that it is important to realize and accept rather than to ignore and deny that there is a huge amount of subliminal programming coming your way every day. What do you want to do about that? If you begin to form an idea of your own personal power such that whatever way you choose to live is something that you can consciously create by intending or mentally in your imagination choosing that it is so, in your own universe, that is something powerful you can do. I have suggested on my websites, in the section there entitled, What is a Body? In collaboration with Voon Munban and other benevolent beings in the all that it is better to believe that it is better to have no beliefs and to adopt the belief that you have no beliefs except for those two beliefs than to leave yourself open to the effects of beliefs you already took on, or you might take on. Dreams and your ambitions of success. There are the nighttime dreams that seem to be primarily the realm of your subconscious mind, and then there are your conscious intentions of what you want to accomplish, your goals and dreams as they are often called. Why are two such very different types of experience of conscious being both called dreams? Why are dreams also called wishes? What to dream for? The Lemurian dreamer is a mythical character that originates about 90,000 years ago in the land that imagination forgot. Lemuria. Somewhere in the Pacific Ocean it was, constantly shrouded in mist. And there are those who were professional dreamers. They assisted people to dream their dreams like I do now in some ways in this my current lifetime assisted others to make their dreams come true. The idea that you consciously create your own reality is in relationship with the idea of dreaming. Your awake and conscious dream. The idea of your subconscious mind is that it can be like a Lemurian dreamer to assist you in materializing your own conscious goals and wishes, your conscious dreams. Your subconscious mind can be like a mythical character who you tell your dreams to and who greatly dreams those dreams for you and with you into reality. Across the bridge of belief you need to go. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. I only know that I believe it is better to have no beliefs, and I also believe that I have no beliefs. And like that I can imagine, dream, think, feel, more freely. Like that I can be more involved and responsible with my higher self, my true self, the divine being in my subconscious mind to dream my dreams into reality. And in so doing it is vitally important to distinguish that these are my dreams, and that my subconscious mind has very different dreams. Does that mean that the subconscious dreams are not in harmony or in assistance to my own goals and ambitions, my dreams? It means that I have rapport with my subconscious mind and I know that it is different than me. I know that when I wake up in the morning I have had dreams, sometimes I can remember them. And those dreams are very different than the dreams I imagine, desire, and expect my life to become. The value is in knowing that each aspect of self is different. That is valuable because then you can develop a relationship, rapport, communication, dialogue, and have experiences together. So remember that just because you might have a dream, whether it is alive or buried, locked away or singing clearly in your heart and soul, that your subconscious mind knows what you are dreaming. And it has a relationship with those dreams. So you too can have a relationship with it, and the dreams it has. And like that you can become on better terms. And like that you can achieve their support, and you can support them. It's healthy like that, it's mystical, it's very personal, it's not what you might have been told, it's uniquely you. And it can be very enjoyable. Who has access to your dreams? Your higher self, your soul, your future self. Even though you may not know it or may even block it out, it is often through dreams that come the greatest help and inspiration for our lives. Is this a language you can accept and allow? Does your everyday conscious mind have the awareness to determine whether a dream is from your higher self, your soul, and/or your future self? Like all other dreaming, you can ask to have their presence known or for them to make themselves clear in your dreams. You just ask before you go to sleep is what people often recommend. However, then what happens? You might have their presence and yet not remember it or be able to consciously decipher it in the morning or if you wake up in the middle of the night. And yet it is there because you know it is, because you know you asked for it to be. That is one way you can know. You can also ask for your dreams to be protected. While it may be true that disturbing dreams can sometimes be a mechanism of the subconscious mind as it attempts to heal and repair the body or to work out things in your life within the dream world, would it be great if your dreams could be more delicious and wonderful and inspiring and less frequently disturbing? I definitely suggest to ask for protection in your dreams. To respect and care about your sleeping dreams can include that. A consciousness that your dreams and sleeping world are to be protected and infused with higher wisdom. Artwork produced by JoreJj Elprehzleinn. Click here to see more of my artwork on Flickr. The science inside of mystical being. What to do about rational thinking and intuition in regards working with your subconscious mind, which is anything but rational. I have come to understand that the way our intuition and magic works is non-scientific and non-rational. The way our subconscious mind works is also non-scientific and non-rational. It may be supremely logical and rational at a level beyond anything we know of, however it appears to be mystical to me. And it's important not to try and put everything we know into a scientific so-called logical and rational package, because that's not going to allow us to tap into the full powers we have. Why does imagination and magic have the same root? Why is magic to this day something that both intrigues and frightens people? Why does everything need to have a reason? I was trained in university in the scientific method. I used to close the door on the classroom after everybody left and do yoga headstands just to get the blood flowing back into my head after that insanity. There are much more fun things to do. And yes, I graduated with honors. The point is that being so-called scientific and rational as a way of life, I feel, limits the very kinds of experimentation and interaction with the mystical realms of empowerment and magic and greater being where so much of what can help each other and this world exists. Rather than go into a long discussion about it, I am going to make my point by sharing this interaction I recently had with a scientist I have known for years. Let's just say this is a fictional conversation between me and a fictional character who is a scientist. The discussion started because I was getting a tremendous success since 2 years now using the mantra JoreJj, and I wanted him to make me a special audio that had the mantra embedded into it. The result of this conversation is that I abandoned the idea of having this person do it for me or with me, and I followed my intuition to make a very powerful version of me saying the mantra 108 times. You can listen to that audio if you get the Ultra Money Manifesting program. To get it for free, click here. In any case, my point is that I had already experienced tremendous success using the mantra, which is by definition entirely mystical. The definition of mantra includes the idea that it is a sound and word formula that cannot be explained what it is or how it works rationally. It is a mystical formula that works via non-scientific and non-rational means. In fact, according to Wikipedia, there is no accepted definition of mantra, which for some people means it is outside of the boundaries of what they can touch or be involved with. I think this conversation I have put together for you here shows what I mean and perhaps will help you evaluate whether or not you must stay inside the boundaries of science, logic, and rational thinking, or if you can appreciate and experience those things that are part of the larger picture of life that is far greater than those that can be limited by so-called rational thought or science. JoreJj special request, an audio with the mantra JoreJj, which is a money and relationship and beauty generating mantra. I would like you to make one for me to use personally, as after 2 years of working with it I know it works wonders and people really need help with these things. I would include it as an upgrade to my http://ultramoneymanifesting.com product, which features that mantra, and happily share whatever profits are made from that. I strongly desire this for me and as a service to others. Peace and love. Scientist, I would consider it as long as the script is not JoreJj. Where can I find it? JoreJj, when I go to the beautiful prayer room lit with hundreds of candles at nearby Artois St. Joseph, I dip my fingers in the holy water and while crossing my heart I say, I am a fully realized divine spiritual being and I believe it's better to have no beliefs. Then I feel I am safe and free to go in there as it's a great place for peace and prayers. Scientist is what you wrote the script. JoreJj is the script. It's a composition of several Sanskrit seed sounds. It's specifically for manifesting money, beauty, luxury, wealth, and abundance. Scientist, I'm sorry I don't understand. Send me your phone number and as soon as I have a few minutes I'll give you a call, please. I'm just going to get my hair cut now. I'll call you after. JoreJj, the idea is to hear as many repetitions as possible and to resonate deeply into the subconscious with that set of sounds. JoreJj, if it was my church story you didn't understand, that was my way of saying I am not religious in a world where religion still has a hold. Scientist, so it's just those 3 words. JoreJj, those 3 sounds more truly, and yes, that's true. Over and over again. Just those 3 words. It's very effective. Scientist, HMMMMMM. I think I have to test it first. How do you pronounce them phonetically? Can you send me a recording of you saying them with instructions on how to listen? How much time a day should you listen? How long, if you can say, would be the longest period of time before you know if it helped in some way? It's kind of out there from a scientific perspective, so I could not do it unless I'm 100% sure it could help. JoreJj, I was just wondering if you would make one for me. The idea of sharing it is a whole other conversation that might take us a while. I know it works really well. I know your stuff works really well. I am keen to benefit from the 2 together. Scientist, the thing is I can't let it get out there unless I'm sure. You understand? JoreJj, I expect it should be phenomenally huge in effectiveness. I totally understand. If you made one for me, it could be for research and testing only, and I would promise not to share it with anyone publicly or make copies even for close people. Only I would use it. Scientist, I need to test it and make sure it works first. You never know how it might get out there accidentally and could hurt my Republican. I'm a scientist, not a new age guy. Also, it takes me around 2 weeks to make an audio, so I would have to find time to do it. First thing first. I have to see benefits. I need to. It's too risky for me otherwise. So how long each day should I listen? How many days? JoreJj, until that sheet works. Meanwhile, overhearing is smiling in the apartment here. I can't believe you said that. Scientist, laying down. Doing other things. The problem with your last response is I don't have the time to test it that way. I need specific parameters or I can't even consider it. JoreJj, it can be written, spoken out loud, or mentally listened to or watched, like on the video I made. I learned it from Dr. Pele, who is Wayne Dyer's guru. Scientist, call me or let me call you. All it's doing for me is so far is giving me carpal tunnel. JoreJj, I have enjoyed its benefits for 2 years from the first week I started using it. I have to run, going out. S is waiting for me. Child Scientist, okay, next time you have time. Sorry, until I get this proven to me, I cannot do it. In training and developing your subconscious mind. Part of the rapport with your subconscious mind can be your choices on how to entrain it. Remember that you are the aspect of consciousness of the totality of who you are that is the only expression of you that has the power of conscious choice. While it is very important to develop an understanding and relationship of what your subconscious mind is holding for you and doing for you, it is also important to exercise your ability to train it. I use astrology and destiny cards along with everything else I do to gain a better understanding of the forces that my subconscious mind are already entrained to, that are moving my life energy in all aspects of my life in this lifetime. And I use sound, subliminal audios, sacred sexuality, meditation, dream work, writing, and other means and tools to entrain my subconscious mind to my conscious desires and intentions, to my life choices, both large and small choices. I use technologies that I developed and shared over my entire adult lifetime so far to make my choices, in other words my conscious intentions of what I choose for my life, to be very focused and clear. I realize that my conscious will and conscious choices are not the totality of who and what I am. However, I know that my conscious choices have great power. I write them down, I bring them into meditations. I use the Elprehzleinn technologies that are outlined in my other books to let my subconscious mind and my higher self and the other aspects of me and also the divine being itself to know what I desire, imagine and expect for my life. I thrill to see how that works out for me. It's exciting. However, I don't think of my conscious self as everything. I think always of the greater me, and the greater of those I am with. The soul, the subconscious mind, and these speak in the dreams, and in the language of dreams, and in ways that may have words, yet so often are more like fully formed images, and ideas, and feelings. A fully formed image may not seem like a command or instruction to your subconscious mind in the interested in training it. It may be that when you tell your subconscious mind what you desire by showing it pictures of places you want to travel, or by showing it the kinds of people you want to meet, or the pictures of the money you want to make, or the kind of physique that you desire to have, and so on, that these are speaking to a part of you in a language that you don't fully understand. And how do you know? You would have your subconscious mind speak back to you in the same language. The more that you talk to it in its language that is more like a fully created movie than just words, the more that you respect its great power in your life, and your place in its life, the easier it can be to entrain your subconscious mind and work with your dreams, both the conscious waking dreams you can make or affirm or meditate and focus upon, and the way that it dreams back to you. I recall a particularly interesting experiment that I did using the Elprehzleinn clock technology for imagining what it is that I want to create in my life in all the areas of my life. Click here to see the symbol I use to do that, and also our Mac pages and audio explaining how to use it. And here is also a version of this symbol. Click this image to reach the page with the audio that explains how to use it. What I was doing was I had the online version that I linked you to up on my big screen, and I was laying on the sofa going through each of 12 areas of my life, such as money, career, romance, friends and so on, in my mind reciting out my current life situation one area at a time. The way I was doing it was saying, for example, in the universe in the area of financial matters. And then I would describe something of my current reality. The next step that I normally take with that practice is in the same area I switch to in my own universe in the area of financial matters. And then I declare what I imagine, desire, and expect my life should be like in my life dream for that area. Normally I just come up with whatever ideas I am focusing on, directing my life with my choices like that for my future. This time, however, I would literally fall asleep the second it came time to do that. Incredibly, I would just pass out, have a short dream, and then wake up and move on to the next area in the universe. I have been doing this full Clark practice, as it's called, twice a day for 60 days. This was near the end of the time of entraining my subconscious mind to that which I desired consciously. It was literally putting me to sleep and making up its own suggestions for my life dream. It was doing that part for me in a really incredible demonstration of its power. It would put me to sleep, generate a short dream, and then wake me up again in a matter of minutes. I would then say my in the universe for the next area, and then boom, all of a sudden fast asleep and dreaming the in my own universe for a few moments and then awakened again. It was real teamwork, and it joyfully impressed me with my progress in having a healthy, happy relationship with my subconscious mind. Do I remember what it was dreaming to me? I just remember that experience from 2011 to this day. So I have more work to do, obviously, in developing the lucidity and awareness. And yet I need to emphasize right now that it may not be that important to be so lucid and so clear in all our dreams and relationships with our subconscious mind. Why not? Because the awareness that we are a team, each with distinct responsibilities, is far more important than taking over each other's jobs, or each other's way of expression and communication. This is so important. Your conscious mind is not your subconscious mind. They need to have a relationship, and it can be a great one, or something else. It can be brilliant. You can work on it. Accessing your soul across time. There is a technique for gaining value in your everyday life from relating with the subconscious mind that I particularly like, and I am going to share the basic idea of it with you here and some examples for the sake of inspiration and motivation. The idea of what this is involves the idea that time is an illusion, that there is a soul, and that there are other lifetimes that are, due to time being an illusion, existing simultaneously. I like to enjoy those ideas and have put them together with help into the idea that there are other lifetimes that are connected to this lifetime that I am living. That in those other lifetimes I have another body, another life. And that through my soul we are connected. Through my great being, we are connected. I like the idea and sense that my subconscious mind is in charge of opening and closing the doors of my focus and attention on these other lifetimes, such that I am mostly perceiving myself in this lifetime as the focus of my consciousness. That the other lifetimes are like visiting a friend or family member who has a distinct and different life than I do in this lifetime. And yet we can interact and influence each other. From that point of view, developed in meditations and creative thinking and allowing, and by feeling free of restraining beliefs, I allow myself to have this kind of consciousness about living in this lifetime, and have found incredible experiences in doing so. Here I share two that are relevant, I feel, to the topic of this book in ways that simply talking philosophy would not be the same as sharing the actual experiences with you, dear reader. Following is my account of some of the more recent from among the many of my current life experiences with dreams in the subconscious mind. For several months now, 2014, I have concentrated on accessing memories from when I was incarnated in Atlantis. This morning I remembered something in a dream and I was able to integrate that with this lifetime. Let me explain about that experience. For one thing, it was something I asked my subconscious mind to do with me. I watched a lot of shows on Atlantis and on the pyramids in Egypt, and I got a symbol from a documentary TV show from an ancient ruin that was to me definitely from Atlantis. Here it is, ancient ruin depicting Atlantis. Before that I was using the symbol which to me spoke of Atlantis, the Stargate of Atlantis. During the months I also asked my subconscious mind to remember Atlantis, and I explained that I wanted to get in touch with the lifetime in which my soul was incarnated into a body that would be beneficial to this lifetime now. And by today, this morning, I had already slept for the night. I did some meditation, had breakfast and coffee, and then suddenly felt incredibly tired and went back to bed, dimming all the lights. Light is a very important factor in dreaming. I passed out into more than a deep dream, and I was there in that other lifetime during the last few hours before I had left that other body. And as the dream experience ended, I stepped from that body into this body that I now have. Onto the floor, in the dream state, that I currently have in my apartment. And then I awoke and came back into my body. I knew as the minutes unfolded and I slowly accustomed to this place anew. As I awoke from that sleeping dream, my spirit was integrated into my body in this present time. As the hours passed, I realized that I had now picked up an entire part of me that had been lost somewhere between time and space to that traumatic ending in that other lifetime. And that part of me was now living inside of me here and now. And I knew, because I had asked for something like this, that the person I was in that lifetime had something valuable to me in this lifetime, and that now it would unfold and reveal itself in my body, in my life currently. And I am excited about that. If I didn't have a great rapport and experience with my subconscious mind, you can only begin to imagine how much and in how many ways I could have said no to this experience. And yet this experience is to me exactly what I had asked for, even though it came in a way that only my subconscious mind working with my higher self could bring it to me. A second example of accessing the soul across time. Perhaps the complexity of the subconscious mind is revealed somewhat by this concept of accessing the soul across time. There are a lot of factors that all have to line up in order to even consider doing something like this. For example, what if a person does not believe that there are other lifetimes? Or what if a person thinks that dreams are only for certain purposes but not for healing or for communication with other aspects of self and soul? In any case, I feel that another example of how this has worked for me will do more for elucidating than any other way it could be made clear. A statue of Marcus Aurelius. When I was a child, my father called me fondly Marcus Aurelius, frequently. When I was an adult, a powerful psychic channel connected me with an entity that referred to me as Commander of Armies. There was a meditation I did on several occasions to specifically connect with the most helpful spiritual aspects of myself from other lifetimes, who I have, supposedly, been in other lifetimes, and considering that time is simultaneous, who I still am in those other lifetimes from the point of view of my greater being in my soul in the ever-present now in which all is occurring. Considering that since time is an illusion, all other lifetimes are happening simultaneously. Considering that randomly accessing these other lifetimes is being gated by the subconscious mind, because otherwise you might end up insane. Nevertheless, through a careful procedure and through just noticing it over time, it became apparent with the help I received to connect to this other me, whether literally or as a symbolic expression of my energy. And doing so started to become very helpful to this lifetime in various ways. Until recently it became extremely helpful through a set of 2 dreams that combined the programming and requesting and meditating and working with the other lifetimes and with my subconscious mind into a really clear set of practical experiences I am now working with to better my current reality profoundly. The circumstances in which I dreamed was that I had already started to do a sun salutation practice that I designed in such a way to include the magical practice of facing the 4 directions and calling on their powers and then doing a sun salutation series of yoga asana movements in each direction. This was something I had intuitively started to do in a certain area of one of the back rooms of my apartment. Then I had a dream. In the dream I was in a dream version of this my apartment, flat, and with his men, was a commander of an army and me having a visit with him. He sat down casually and yet with his incredible power and that attitude of being a commander of an army. Like Napoleon Bonaparte or something. A very intense and powerful man. And he was very friendly to me in his manner. I was there in the dream feeling my own resistance to such a man at the same time as being present and willing to hear the counsel he was giving me because I have trained myself in conscious meditations, trained my subconscious and my conscious mind to work together in meditations to receive counsel from the beings I was in other lifetimes that could help me in this lifetime. Let me be clear that this is all spiritual entertainment, and I believe it is better to have no beliefs, means in part that the idea of my own spirit and soul being alive in another body and in another lifetime is something I am working with, that is a very intricate and delicate consciousness. So please, as I say in my disclaimer, do not take this seriously. It is spiritual entertainment. This commander of armies addressed my desire for losing weight in this lifetime and generally for using physical exercise as a way of being very healthy and in shape. And what he said was direct, powerful, clear, and simple for me to understand, though it was also very complex and intelligent, and it showed that he knew what I was already doing with the sun salutations so far. He told me in his way to do 25 rounds of that sun salutation exercise in a non-stop sequence, and that when I could do that I would be totally in shape and be able to maintain being in shape that way, and that's all I would need to do for exercise. That means to do 100 simultaneous sun salutations. I felt that, let that in, and woke up from the dream with that totally new idea, and the consciousness from him that included the trust that somebody like that would certainly know about physical training and that he certainly knew about me, and therefore I was fortunate to have the most incredible advice on physical training from him, helping me in this current lifetime with that current issue. It was rich with support in so many ways, more than can be described here. A direct connection from him was pouring so much of what he had to offer and share into me, transforming my consciousness about physical exercise as I began to practice what he instructed in my own way. In the next few days I related to that subconscious help which was so incredible. I tried it out. I could do a few of the sun salutations and then I would get a lot of difficulty with my heart and breathing. In order to do more I had to make all kinds of adjustments to my movement speed, my pace, my way of breathing. It was very quickly changing me and healing me in ways that I have never experienced before. The commander had also told me that this would strengthen my arms and wrists and that I needed that. I realized I did, even though I hadn't thought of that before. I realized as I attempted to do this how I was thinking and feeling about life. His spirituality was infusing me, directing me. My willingness, my passion, all came into play in the exercise attempt. It felt as if my own soul was teaching me and talking to me with every step and movement, and even the planning and thinking about it and integrating this exercise training routine into my life so personally. As I worked with my desire to have the outcome of my total health and ability to maintain my total health like that which I felt he was truly saying would be the result of doing the 100 sun salutations, I also was facing my obstacles to even getting close to doing this. Up came my negativity being detoxified as I moved with this. As I could see myself in my negativity as well as the potential and gift this represented. I had been using prayer beads, mala beads, For several months before this happened, as a way of counting off 108 rounds of Shreem Klimrzi mantra while doing alternate nostril breathing, I wrote my honors thesis in university on the topic of yogic alternate nostril breathing. So I knew that what these sun salutations would also bring about was in relationship with what the mantra is designed to produce and align my life with as well. My dreams for beauty, love, relationships, and massive money. Also the breathing is for health and balance and harmony within myself. You too can use that mantra, by the way. Just visit http://ultramoneymanifesting.com for all the resources you need to do so. These are the prayer beads I use to count off mantra repetitions. I knew that the mantra work and the breath work I was doing with the mantra work was unfolding into this new sun salutation experience. And so that motivated me to know that doing the sun salutations was and is also about bringing about in my life that which I desired, which is why I was doing the mantra and breath work in the first place. I hope that as I am detailing this one important experience of a particular relationship I am having currently 2014 with my subconscious mind, it is showing you the depths you can get to with your own. How when you allow yourself to be in a relationship with your subconscious mind and your dreams, then there are so many things you can do and your life can change. If you want to pretend that your conscious mind is in control of your life, and that your subconscious mind is just an annoying problem you don't know how to deal with, then maybe all of this will not be appealing to you. My desire is to inspire you that really the most powerful and excellent work on yourself can be done. Life changes can happen when you allow the relationship with your subconscious mind and your dreams to become alive and real. And when you have a real relationship with anything, you give it your time, your attention, you get involved, you give of yourself, you receive, you interact, you are intimate. A few days after the first dream with the commander of armies, he showed up in my dreams again. This time he was the foreman of a construction crew, again with his men. And this time he was helping me more with the same exercise program and showing me how it related to my career work more than just to my physical health. This was really helpful that he was teaching me in his way how the physical exercise was working my whole life through the body work he was prescribing to me. In this second dream he was telling me to go and pick up a very poor, particularly shaped chair and bring it over to the new foundation that he was laying in the ground as a construction worker. Doing so, I felt a warmth in my lower back muscles in the dream. The feeling that was identical to the feeling I got the next day when I actually did the sun salutations. I therefore felt that I was receiving the help to understand how it would feel as I went through the exercises and not to worry about my back, rather to embrace that feeling of warmth and development in my lower back muscles and everything that means to me. Lower back is security. The idea of lifting and moving furniture connects to one of the first jobs I had, where I was a foreman for a furniture moving company. It connected me to the health and strength and physique I had at the time and how I worked with my energy then, and the idea of job and career then and now. As an additional note to this particular sun salutation dream experiences, I had a third dream where I saw a picture of myself fully transformed into the physique I am desiring and imagining, and there was counsel and knowing from my subconscious mind as I contemplated the imagery of that dream. Counsel and knowing that a particular crystal I have needed to put placed and worked with on my solar plexus. And that honesty would make changes in me that would contribute to changes in my body. And both of those things have since happened. I hope that you have been able to share in some of my ideas and experiences of working with the subconscious mind and my own dreams here in this section in ways that inspire you and motivate you to have your own unique experiences and to realize how valuable and worthwhile doing so can be. If I had simply rejected or dismissed the original dream as just a dream, or ignored it or the commander who appeared in the dream, or ignored the details and information in the third or the other dreams, I can already now see how much I would be missing out on. And I trust and know that these experiences are in alignment with where I consciously want to go with my life. I know that partly due to the empowerment script. My own personal use of that because using that script is asking that your inner powers, including subconscious mind, support where you consciously want to go with your life. And so I know that my subconscious mind is doing that. And these experiences are intimate evidence of how that is happening. How they are doing that. You can also get that script and use it for you, as it helps to know for sure that your conscious intentions are being heard and very much aligned with your subconscious mind. And that can be very life-transforming in positive ways you most desire. In this case, it is my story of how it is positive for me in ways I most desire. It is helpful to me. And thank you, my subconscious mind. What you think you are doing, what you are really doing. For the conclusion of this book, I want to take up the topic of counterintending your own inner power that resides with your subconscious mind, and are being counterintended by it. By the way, the empowerment script I wrote in 2011 in the summer after years of being a self-help guru and doing my own work on myself is designed to handle this issue of counterintending. As mentioned earlier, both by referring to the story of Arjuna and Krishna on the battlefield, and by giving you an access link to the Inner Truth subliminal audio, I have brought your attention to the counterintending issue in those and other ways throughout this book. Together is the word, the idea, and the feeling that also heals the inner war that counterintending represents. The nature of a self-identity that does not include the greater self nor includes the subconscious mind is such that inner splits can happen. There are certainly many people that manage to function in life with inner splits, so I am just making up a term and not at all talking about anything that a psychiatrist would have jurisdiction over. What I am saying is that people consider that the conscious part of themselves is all of themselves, and yet they full well know that the subconscious mind is active and alive. They just don't acknowledge it. Or only partly acknowledge. I have in fact never met a person who honestly and fully considers the great being that they are, including their subconscious mind, as who they are, when it comes to their everyday activities and the living of their life in all areas. And so it occurs in my observation and experience that people have many programs and many patterns that run automatically, and run them automatically without their conscious knowing. And so if a person thinks and owns that only their conscious mind is in charge of their life, and then things run automatically without their knowing it, then they are split into or more. They act, think, feel, and live differently than they consciously intend or even know they do. Their lives run in contradiction to what the conscious self is saying, doing, or wanting. This goes both ways. So if I look at a person in terms of their reliable patterns, addictions, programs, beliefs, and various in place and definitely running subconscious programming at work, it's clear that there is the conscious mind that thinks it is the whole person, and then there is the whole person. And they aren't the same. You too can hear a person say one thing and do another. They don't even consider they are telling a lie within their greater wholeness. Consciousness of everything that is happening within self is certainly not possible. We all know that because the true is obvious. So what to do? How can we be responsible and have integrity to all of who we are when we don't even know everything that is going on? We can. You can. I can. It is something that comes from the very ideas in this book. Becoming conscious, for example, that we do have a subconscious mind and that we don't know everything that it is doing. Just the act of being open to the dreams as voice of the subconscious mind is a huge step towards inner togetherness. We can become more responsible for developing a relationship with our other aspects of self, like our subconscious mind and their language of dreams and symbols. We can accept that when we live in the world we are constantly being presented with stories, ideas, music, sounds, and so much that is coming at us and coming into us far beyond what we are consciously aware of. We can be consciously aware that we are not aware of all of this, and yet we can know that another facet of us, a great us, is taking this in and working with it. And opening up to self like this, we can release our addiction to fitting into the world in a way that we might have thought we needed to in order to survive, that is actually stopping us from being fully alive. We can make choices to a certain degree about what we consciously choose to be exposed to and to be part of in our world. We can form our own conscious goals and dreams and do our own conscious dream making, knowing that our subconscious mind knows that kind of language well. When we write out stories and have visions and make vision boards and feel the feelings consciously, when we see pictures, movies, or listen to songs and music, and have conscious, thoughtful and heartfelt true relationships with others, we can become more and more aware and more responsible of who we are. I used to live in a room full of mirrors. All I could see was me. I take my spirit and I crash my mirrors. Now the whole world is here for me to see. Jimi Hendrix. In developing this relationship with subconscious mind, we can begin to develop a sense of camaraderie rather than animosity with those behaviors and the realities we are generating around us that seem to be not what we desire, or to be more considerate of our own conscious judgments of what we desire, love, and need. The counter-intending goes both ways. We might desire pleasure, at the same time as thinking it is bad, wrong, or we should be guilty for the kind of pleasure we want. Developing a powerful rapport with your sleeping dreams and your subconscious mind has many benefits. And one of those benefits is that your conscious self becomes stronger and clearer and more honest and more true. And you become more powerful by accepting the power that you already have within you, rather than being at war with it or suffering from it being at war with you. Working with the self consciously like this is an area where I have developed many skills. For those who want to have my personal help to do this, it's my pleasure. Visit the http://elprehzleinn.com websites and click the banner on the top of most every page to see the products and services catalog, and or get in touch with me directly through my social media and contact links provided near the end of this book and on my website. With love and peace, and with love itself, it has been a great pleasure to write and share this book and myself in own experience of dreams and the subconscious mind with you. Yours truly, JoreJj Elprehzleinn.